All right. Are you ready to change your entire life? So, I want to tell you a quick story because doing this test group is taking me right back to January when I got the email that asked me, do I want to be a part of this? And I want to give you a little bit of background to that season of life because if you've been in my accountability group, you know that was just such a incredibly hard season. We had just lost our dog. My health was at an all-time low. My husband's job was doing major layoffs and we knew he would be any minute. It was truly one of those seasons of life where everything was happening to me. And I just kept being like, God, where are you? Like, I need you. And I could not figure out for the life of me how to get my feet under me. And it was so funny because an email came through and said, Katie, would you like to be a part of a test group? If so, email us back and we're going to do an interview to see if you'd be a good fit. And initially, my first thought was there is no way that I have the bandwidth of committing to something else right now. I am at full capacity. It didn't feel like there was much more space currently for me to focus on anything other than just surviving. And I said, you know what, I'll do the interview because I'm curious whose program this is. And I got on that interview and they said, it's a yoga program. It's 20 minutes, 5 days a week for 6 weeks with Elise Jones. And it was so funny because if it had been anyone else, I would have probably said no. And if it had been any more than 20 minutes, I probably would have said no because at the time I thought, okay, I love Elise. I love her style of training. I love 20 minutes, that is like something I can actually fit in right now. But I had one major hesitation and they said it is a yoga based program. It's more of an athletic yoga program, but it does have yoga in it. And I literally just pictured us like sitting around singing like Kumbaya. Like I was like, no, like I don't love that style of workout. And I couldn't have been more wrong, but let me tell you why I ended up committing to it. I was telling somebody this today. She was debating whether or not to join us for this test group. And listen, if you're in the group and you're like, I'm not up for the test group part of this, totally understand. Or if you're in a group and you're like, I am not up to doing BODi Lava, I totally understand. But I want to tell you why maybe you want to rethink that and why I think committing to this could be the thing that very much gets you out of whatever trench you're in. When I committed to this program, again, I was at a very hard season. And when I was speaking to this woman, but many women this week, one of the things I keep hearing is like, Katie, it's summertime. I've got so much on my plate. We've got this going on and this going on, and this kid is sick. And this week we have travel, and this week we have a birthday party, and this week we've got holidays. And like, I just don't know that I can even commit to this right now. And I was talking to this one woman in particular, and I said, I felt the same way. I totally understand what you mean by that. And I said, but I'm going to tell you why I think this is actually what you've been praying for. I said, have you ever heard the story of the man who it began to rain and his city began to flood and everybody's making their way out of the city and he sits on top of his roof and he said, I know that my God is so powerful, he's going to save me. And so it's raining, it's pouring, the floodwaters are coming up, and this guy comes by on a boat and he says, man, hop in, I'm going to save you, take you to shore. And he says, no, thank you. I'm waiting on God. I know he's coming to save me. And then a helicopter comes by and it says, man, you need to get out of the water. Like, come up here. I'll take you to shore. And he says, no, I'm praying. God's coming to save me. And then the guy drowns in the flood and he gets to the pearly gates and God says, son, what are you doing here? And he said, I was praying for you to save me. And God said, I sent a boat. I sent a helicopter. He said, what more could I have sent? And, I think about that analogy all the time when it comes to people saying they've got too much on their plate, too much going on in their lives. And here it's like, this is an opportunity and something that, yes, is going to challenge you, but this can be the very thing that you've been praying for. I think a lot of times as women, in particular moms, one of the things we struggle with is we're so busy taking care of everybody else that quite literally we fall on the back burner, that, we truly stop taking care of ourselves. And it feels selfless in the moment, right? Like, oh, well, I'm going to do this for the kids. I'm going to do this for my husband. I need to clean the house, do the dishes, do the laundry. I need to take them to their social events. I need to plan the holiday and plan the events. And what ends up happening is in not taking care of ourselves, we actually become a lesser version of ourselves and take less care of all the people we love most around us. And, I was thinking about this when I was talking to this woman because I thought to myself, like, maybe this is God's way of challenging you to remind you of the strength you actually already have in you. You know, I think as women, we've just stopped doing that. We stopped doing things that push us to our limit, that challenge us, that require us to show up for ourselves. And so this test group came at a time when I thought, is this foolish of me to commit to? This is more work on my plate. But ultimately, what it ended up being was the very thing that allowed me to juggle all the things that were actually on my plate. You know, I wanted to create this environment that this test group did because I want you to be a part of something that's bigger than you. I want you to commit to something that's going to require you not just to show up for yourself, but also show up for your sisters in this group. We need you just as much as you need me and us. And together, we are going to lean in and we are going to see amazing transformations come out of this group. You made the investment, and I want to help you see this through. And I'm going to talk to you about all the tools that helped me do that. But only you can walk through that fear. Only you can push play on that workout. Only you can make the healthy nutrition choices. No one else can do that for you. One of the things I had to get very clear on in this journey was that no one was coming to save me. And that if I wanted to change my life and transform and become the woman, wife, mother that I was designed to literally be, it was going to require me putting in the work. So I want to talk to you really quickly about some of the things that are going to be in place for you and what this test group is going to look like, because I'm still very much working on it right now. Everything will be in the file section of the July group very, very soon. If you're a customer of mine, I'm also going to email you. But all of the coaches that help run the group with me, they will have everything that you need. They can send it out to you. I promise you. Bear with us as we get everything uploaded. But I want to give you some of the things that are really going to change your life. And I know your first thought is going to be to resist doing these things because it is going to require you to be vulnerable. And I understand that that is hard. What I want you to know is you do not have to share any of it with anyone. This can be for your eyes only. And so I'm going to tell you what helped me measure my goals and where I was and where I was going to be and see the progress that inspired me to keep going and commit to another round. And again, I used this as a time to really take a hard look at my relationship with food, my relationship with my body, my relationship with movement, right? My relationship with myself and the commitment that I was willing to make. So let me talk to you about some of the things we're going to do. All of these are up to you because I don't even want to say they're optional, because if you're in the test group, I want you to do them. But I will say I can't make you. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to walk you through some of the tools that you're going to have access to that I am currently working on. Number one, I want to show you where to find BODi Lava if you're going to be doing that program with us. Now, they are still editing the final workouts. So you're seeing the version of this workout that they have currently released. But again, the rest of them are to come. When you go on to beachbodyondemand.com and you sign in, if you are doing BODi Lava, but again, you can do this with any program. I just want to show you where this one is in particular. You're going to go to programs. So click programs here, and then you're going to see BODi Lava here. Now, the way that she has designed this is there are pre-burn workouts that are more or less workouts that also are tutorials for the moves that you're going to start to see throughout this program. I don't want you to look at pre-burn workouts as optional. These are a must because it will speed up as we go throughout the program. And I want you to look at her. I mean, look at her right now in this video. This is about the speed that we get to. It's not, aside from our cardio days, which, you know, you do move your body a little bit more swiftly on cardio days, but this is a low to no impact workout. So you're not jumping, you're not doing crazy jumping jacks, you're not doing anything insane. But this would be about, well, she just passed, but that was about the speed of cardio. It just moves a little bit faster. But the pre-burn workouts are going to be crucial so that you can learn the vocabulary of this program. So when we get started, the group is going to open up this weekend. I've started adding people in there as I've confirmed your orders. I promise you, if you're not in there, you will be in there very, very soon. But we are going to get in there. So starting on July 1st, we are going to be doing a get to know you and nutrition refresher. Now, if you choose to start the pre-burn workouts during that week, because you're like, well, I'll just do two weeks of pre-burn. Totally fine. Totally fine. I actually think that's a fantastic idea. Go ahead and do that if you'd like to. If you're like, I'm traveling, I don't have the ability to do them yet, totally fine too. But July 1st week, what we're going to be doing is getting to know each other. We're going to do a refresher on the nutrition. And we are going to be just leaning into our community. Really, truly, I want you to take this again as an opportunity to say, I want you to actually do this, okay? This is really hard, but this is what I did to myself when I was a customer. I'm going to be the biggest participant in the group. Just go ahead and say that. I want you to use this right now, like use this group as an opportunity to really do things the way that they were designed to be. This is your community. You made the investment, so let's show up to it, right? But July 1st week, we're going to do introductions. We're going to do a nutrition refresher. You can get started with pre-burn workouts if you wish, but starting on July 8th, the following Monday, that is when the group's pre-burn workouts begin. Because again, so many people were traveling. We wanted to kind of give some grace in terms of when our start date is. So the other part of that is if you do have friends and family who want to do this with you and you're excited about this, let's get them in the group. We don't start day one until July 8th. That's going to be when we start the pre-burn workout. So if you have people in your life that you would like to do this with, please let your coach know, and we can either help you get them signed up or we can get them signed up with us. But either way, it's going to be a really fun group. So July 8th, we'll do the pre-burn workouts. And then July 15th, we will start day one of BODi Lava program. So you're going to see below right now, there's only weeks 1, 2 up. They are going to be adding 3 and 4 and then 5 and 6 as we progress through the workouts. Now, here's the thing that Elise said to us on our accountability call that I just want to reiterate. You guys, if you still feel like you should be doing another workout after this workout, you may not be pushing yourself hard enough. I am not even kidding. The first 3 weeks, I was modifying every single move. I was still dripping in sweat. So if you're getting done with these 20 minutes and you're like, I still feel like I need a workout, what I guess you're doing is pacing yourself. Do not pace yourself. You're going to hear her keep saying, let's go breathless on this move. I am going to challenge you to leave it on the yoga mat. Truly, 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 leave it on the yoga mat. This is one of those programs you will get out of it what you put into it because it is only 20 minutes. So I want you to go all in on this piece. The other component that is going to be crucial to you seeing the results of this program is your nutrition. And I know you know that we're going to be going through it together, but I want to show you where to find it in case you don't know where to find it. Once you're in Beachbody On Demand, you're going to come up here to nutrition. Nope, I lied. You're going to go to Body Blocks. You're going to go Body, and then we're going to go to Body Blocks. And then from there, we're going to go to the BODi Mindset Body Block. It's right here. This is the newest, latest and greatest nutrition videos. And I want you to go through these. They are phenomenal. This is the entire this is the entire how-to in terms of the plating method. It's called BODi Mindset. It's by registered dietitian nutritionist Alana Molstein. She herself has lost over 100 pounds with this program. She created it, and it is absolutely a phenomenal way to find some flexibility and some intuitiveness around the foods that we eat, knowing what works for our body. But these videos are going to be crucial. Now, if you only purchase the digital pack for the workouts and you do not have access to BODi Mindset, that's okay. Listen, I will add to the file section the plating recap so that you can have at least that. But I will tell you again, I really, 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 really hope that maybe next month you really do think about getting the nutrition program, because this has changed so many people's lives in our group. We have women in our group who have lost up to 200 pounds with BODi Mindset. So this program changes lives. If you don't have it though, you will be able to piece it together based on the plating recap. This is just more of the behind the why, right? And we just love this so much. But yes, so there's the videos here. Get through those so that you can have full comprehension of the actual program itself. And then if you go to recipes and resources, this is going to be a really important component to it as well, because obviously you do have the quick start guide, which is going to just be a breakdown of the program. You also have the digital tracker back here. If you need that, if you bought a full pack, you'll actually have the paper tracker. which mine's in the kitchen, I think right now, but you'll actually have the tracker journal. But if you haven't gotten it yet, there is actually a digital tracker back here that you can print off as well. And then the food lists, obviously the food lists are going to be crucial for you to know what falls under every single food group. The one thing, and I know I keep pointing this out to people, but this is the only thing that changed for me when I did BODi Lava, where people are like, how did you lose 22 pounds in 12 weeks? And I always say, I got back to the weight loss principles in BODi Mindset paired with the BODi Lava program. But if you go to fiber-filled carbohydrates, I want you to pay attention to this checklist. Your choice of fiber-filled carbohydrates should be 150 calories or less. You need more fiber than sugar. You need at least 1 gram of fiber for 10 grams of net carb. So this is going to be the most important part if you're trying to get yourself into weight loss, because again, we want high volume, low calorie so that we can get you in a deficit without ever having to count calories. This is how we do it. So that one is going to be important. And then also to the accessory list, there's also a checklist for that. That's going to be the thing that makes what you're eating a calorie bomb. If you are not careful of accessories, it can very quickly become a very heavy meal. And again, if you're trying to use this as a test group, what I embraced was that, yes, there were going to be on occasions treats, on occasions meals that maybe aren't perfect. But during my test group, I did look at this as, you know what? I'm going to take this time to really evaluate my nutrition. And I was way over accessorizing. So I got back to really, truly just as plain and boring as I could be. My breakfast was literally a Shakeology with a banana. My lunches began to be like turkey lunch meat or tuna with an apple and bell peppers. You know what I mean? Like I just started making my meals very, very simple. And when I started making them simple, they were more trackable. And also my scale was moving because they were nutrient dense, one ingredient, whole foods. My body knew what to do with them. I felt energetic. My skin cleared up. I mean, I felt like I was like glowing. Somebody the other day said like, I feel like, Katie, you've been like floating. I'm like, I feel like I'm floating. I feel amazing. So your nutrition is going to be 80 to 90% of what results you see. I cannot stress enough that this is going to be crucial if you want to get the results. And then the one other thing I was going to say that is I did bump my protein just a smidge during that time. And the reason for that being is that I found for myself, I was struggling to not be snacking and grazing. And so I did increase my protein during that time. In my Shakeology, I started adding more collagen. At meals, I started adding like one more chicken breast or, I mean, gosh, I eat a lot of protein. So like for me, like even with my lunches, like when I made tuna, I used 2 packs of tuna, which the tuna that we get is 33 grams of protein per can. So that's 66 grams of protein in just one meal. I started developing muscles I didn't even know possible. But again, a big part of that was I was also eating enough protein to where I wasn't snacking in between meals. And I would finish my dinner and like my husband would try to like tempt me. He'd be like, do you want dessert? And I'd be like, no, I'm full. If I did have dessert though, it was a date with some natural peanut butter and some sunflower seeds. Again, you can hear I kept it simple. And that was literally my treat if I had any. It was a date with natural peanut butter and some sunflower seeds. So you can see how I really dialed it in. And again, when you don't feel good, nothing feels too challenging. I didn't want maple syrup. I didn't want all the extra stuff. I didn't want to have cake at the birthday party. I didn't want to have cake at the wedding. I didn't want to have, the French fries at the restaurant. I wanted to feel good. So again, we're going to be talking about your why a lot in this group. And I want you to really embrace the fact that like, listen, if you're on a journey and you're wanting results, use this as a time to treat yourself like a queen and eat like a queen and really, truly like embrace the fact that people are going to think you're weird eating so clean and so healthy in the summertime because you're going to feel so good. It is going to be so worth it. So, all right, let's keep going. So we've done where the workouts are, where the nutrition is. One other thing I want to show you is, and this will be obviously sent out in emails a million times, as well as it's also, I'll add it to the new group. I know it's in the June group, but I always want you to know where to be if you want to join the accountability call. The accountability call is most Sundays, this week we don't have it, oddly enough, only because I'm traveling. It's my sister-in-law's birthday on the 30th, mine on the 2nd. And so we always do a trip out there to spend time with them. So we're going to Tennessee this weekend. So we do not have an accountability call this Sunday night. However, if you look, we do have one on the 7th, 14th, 21st, 28th, 4th, 11th, and 18th. With the one exception to that day being, if you notice this one right here on July 28th, that call will be a meal prep call. So we will be meeting at 4 p.m. EST as opposed to 8 p.m. EST. And we will actually be going over the chapters during that time on that call. But while we meal prep, my computer's about to die. So if you would like to meal prep with us, come, but that meal prep call is in lieu of our 8 o'clock call. So we won't have an 8 o'clock call that night. We'll just go over the chapters at that 4 o'clock meal prep call. And I will record so that if you can't make it, you can watch the recording later. So I will add this to the group. And then again, I will always email you and remind you of calls coming up. Okay, so let's talk about test group stuff, because I think I saved this for last because I was like, okay, I don't want to scare them, but I do want you to see what it was that I was doing at the time as to why I had so much data that really got me excited about my journey. And again, you do not have to share any of this. This can be for your eyes only. But I think the mentality I had to embrace was like, I too wanted to see my own progress. Like, BODi was asking me for it, right? They were like, can we use you for commercials and infomercials? Like, can you document it so we can use it in that way? But honestly, I didn't care what they used. I wanted it for myself. I wanted to see progression. I was tired of not feeling good. I was tired of feeling unmotivated. I was tired of being disappointed in my lack of discipline. I wanted to see change. So I want you to start thinking about, what is your why in saying yes to this? What was it that got you excited about this? I'll tell you what mine was. In January, when they asked me, at the time I was thinking about summertime. Oh, and I don't want to get choked up about this, but I knew I was going to spend more time thinking about what I looked like in a bathing suit than I spent in the ocean. I wanted to be the mom on the beach building the sandcastles. I wanted to be the mom surfing in the waves with my kids. And you know what's funny? I didn't even put, I had to answer the same question, what my why was. I didn't even put that I would surf. You know what I put? I hope I feel strong enough and healthy enough and have enough energy to help my children surf. Do you know, last weekend, my kids, myself and my husband, we spent 4 hours, all of us, surfing. Mama is surfing up on that surfboard. So you are going to shock yourself how good you're going to feel, and you are going to completely blow yourself out of the water in terms of what you thought you were shooting for and what you're able to do. I wanted to be the mom I want to be. I want to be active. I want to be fit. I want to be healthy. I want to be the mom that's keeping up with my kids at all times. So you need to be thinking for yourself, what is it you're committing yourself to? What is it that you said yes to this for? I want you to embrace the fact that you said yes for a reason. And I want you to do a little digging into that, because one of the first forms that they had us fill out, and again, this will be for your eyes only, is they had us complete forms that made us think about why we were committing to this. We, name, email, like, what mental and physical changes are you looking for? What is your goal? And then we had to rate certain things, and then we had to do measurements. This is what I want to talk about really quickly, because I'd never done measurements before, ever, never. I know it's going to sound crazy to do measurements. If you don't have a BODi measure tool, you can actually just take a string, or a shoelace or something, and tie it around yourself, and you can do your measurements like that, and then put the string on a tape, like a tape measure. Is that what you call that thing? And they measure things with tools and all of that. And you can measure it that way, or you can buy a soft measuring, oh my gosh, what is it called? You know what I'm talking about? The soft ones that you can wrap around you. You can buy those on Amazon, very cheap. You can find them anywhere. But do weigh yourself and do take your measurements. I do have a video that's going to walk you through.
With a measuring tape and a scale. Consistency is key.
So it's going to walk you through how every single thing gets measured. So it's going to walk you through, here's how to measure your chest, your waist, your hips, your arms, your legs. It's going to teach you all of that. Please don't skip this. I know this sounds crazy, but before my scale started moving, my measurements started moving. I saw a difference in my measurements before I saw any changes in pictures or the scale. This kept me going. So please don't skip this step. I promise you, you will regret it, because here's the thing, that you're about to change your life. You're never going to be where you are today. So don't think, oh, I'll do it later. Do it before you start the program. Okay, please, please, please. Okay, so I'll send this to you. So we're going to measure, we're going to weigh. You're going to do your weigh-ins every Monday and your measurements before the program and after the program. We won't do measurements in between, but you are going to weigh every single Monday. Okay, this is the last thing I'll show you, and then we can go. So they had us take before pictures, and I will tell you, I actually thought I was in decent shape. I mean, again, was my scale up? Yes. But I actually didn't realize I'd gotten as far off as I had, because they made us take a picture. Look at this. It says, showing your belly button. I literally wanted to die. So, but I will tell you why I'm excited that they made us do that. It standardized the photo for me. I am a high-waisted girly, which is great, right? But when I started to take the pants down, what it started to remind me of is I have zero core strength. I had zero core strength. And I wanted to see that progression. I wanted to see what would happen if I went all in. I know that you are going to cringe and you're going to die and you're going to tell me, Katie, I don't want to do this. Don't make me. No one's going to see this. Literally no one is going to see this. You are the only person. So you're going to take a before picture, and then we're going to take one every single Monday. Here's what I want you to do though. Find an outfit that is your picture outfit. Okay. And the reason I say that is it was so helpful to have something that every single week I could see myself, and I looked, it was the same outfit. So you started to see like the top got too big and then the bottoms got too big. And what I would recommend is you can do this one on your own. It's a mirror selfie. Go into a bathroom that's lower, that has a mirror that's lower. Wear the same thing. They recommended for women wearing a sports bra. Because you're the only person that would see this, I highly recommend you do the same. Put on a sports bra, put on a pair of shorts. I wish I had worn shorts in mine. I was wearing pants. Wish I had worn shorts because my legs changed so much that I wish I could have evidence of that. But put on some shorts, put on a sports bra, go in your mirror, snap a selfie, and then you're going to do this photo. So it's a front photo and then a side profile. Again, I did not want to do this. I am forever grateful they made me, because these were the photos that I was like, oh, because from head to toe, you start to see every part of you has changed. So we're going to do that. And then the last thing that we're going to do is, and this one I will say, so I shared this video the other day on Instagram and people were like, I am so thankful you shared that video because it makes me realize that you didn't start off being good at this. There are 6 moves that they had us do as our pre-moves and our post moves. And it's 6 moves that you're going to see throughout this program. You don't want these to look pretty the first time, right? Like you're not trying to do them perfectly. Do them at a speed that feels good for you, and just see if you can do them. And if you can't, guess what? Say in your video, I actually can't do this move. Totally fine. I literally was out of breath. If you listened to me on Instagram the other day, I was huffing and puffing. And like, I even got up and I was like, well, lots of room for improvement on that one. Like I could barely do these moves. And actually it's funny because only one of them is an extremely hard move still for me. But again, I had no balance. I couldn't touch my toes. I had terrible tight hip flexors and hamstrings. So I don't want you to feel like you're supposed to be good. You're not. You're not. This is for us to measure our progress against. So I don't want you to retake this. I want this to be a one shot, take it, be done. Because we're going to do this again at the end of the program. But these are baseline moves, and this will be able to help us measure how far you've come. Just make sure you set up your camera where you can see your entire self, and that way you can actually see the progress of it as we move throughout this program. Okay, that's it. I know that feels like a lot, but it's really just a lot on the front end and back end, because it's a lot of documenting on the front end and back end. We've got 5 weeks in between, right? So there's not any work other than weigh in and a quick mirror selfie on a Monday. But this is what changed my life. And I know that it's going to be tempting to say, oh my gosh, what did I just sign up for? Listen, the fear's mutual. I've never run a test group. I'm scared I'm going to let you down. You're scared you're going to let me down. We're both scared we're going to let each other down. Like, listen, I'm learning too. I'm growing. I'm still on my journey. I'm a normal girl like you. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not, a personal trainer. I have no idea what has me wired the way that I am. But the one thing that I know I am good at is I am good at challenging you to do what I've done, knowing what it's brought me in my life. This has changed my life, changed my entire life. It reminded me that I have a lot more strength than I thought. And my guess is that's probably true for you too. I really want you to embrace what you want out of this. I want you to be thinking about what are your goals? What do you want to see? Because the thing that I really want is for you to get at the end of this journey, at the end of these 6 weeks, I want you to feel proud of yourself. You know, we spend a lifetime trying to make other people proud of us, myself included. But I will tell you, there is nothing better than the feeling of being proud of yourself. I know you can do this. Here's the thing. We're going to have Zoom open every Monday or every morning. It's going to be open Monday through Friday. I set it to being open from 5 a.m. EST to 11 a.m. EST. You can hop in there. It's not a chat Zoom. It's not for talking. It's for working out. What you do is you open up the Zoom. You should be muted. I set it so that everybody's muted upon arrival, and you're going to be working out. So are your peers. You can wave and say hello, but you're not unmuting. You don't have to talk. But it's just, we're calling it the sweat studio, Grit and Grace Sweat Studio. You're going to get in there, you're going to sweat it out. And that was a part of my test group. It was doing it with others. And because I was in community with others and I was seeing them work out, I felt so inspired to push myself harder, to do better, to learn, to grow, to share the wins, to share the things that I wanted to keep working on. This can change your life if you let it. And I hope that I don't have to send a boat, a plane, a helicopter. Like, take this life raft, right? Take it and just go all in, because I'm really excited for you. This is going to change everything. This is going to transform your life. You are going to be the woman you were always meant to be if you want it and you do this. So, all right, let's do this, right? All right, drop below how you're feeling. Tell me everything. I'm so excited.